not up to your status or not up to your standard or not up to what you desire. No, God could actually use the most insignificant person to connect you to the person He has in mind for you, as we can see in the life of Rebecca and Isaac. It was a servant, an old man servant, because the Bible says he was Abraham's oldest servant. So I believe he must have been old. An old man servant was whom God sent to Rebecca. Yes, and you also have to be sensitive in the sense, like Rebecca, you have to know what to do when that season actually begins to show up and begins to play out. Like in the life of Rebecca, she came to the well where she met the servant. She could have, turned his back. She could have turned her back on him. She could have refused to give him and his camels, his cattle, water. But she was actually busy. She showed herself to be kind. She showed herself to be accommodating, to be hospitable. She also showed herself to be industrious, because if she were at home sleeping or idling her time away, there's no way she could have met Abraham's servants at the well. So you should be hardworking, you should be kind, you should be industrious, and you should also be sensitive. Then the second way God prepares us for marriage is that He begins to heal your heart. Many people, before they get to the season of marriage, their hearts and their emotions have been battered and beaten with so much pain, so much hurt, so much unresolved trauma, both from their childhood, both from their adult past relationship experience. So before you get to the season of marriage, God will need to work on your heart. God will need to heal you. God will need to straighten you up. God will need to teach you one or two new things. God will need to take away the pain and replace it with love. God will have to teach you forbearance, and God will have to teach you patience. God will have to teach you how to practically practice forgiveness, because marriage is the institution of daily forgiveness. We are humans. Marriage is a coming together of two imperfect people who try to achieve and attain a perfect kind of union that has been patterned after Christ and the church. So yes, God will have to take away some of the excesses, some of the vices, some of the errors in your heart, in your spirit, that could one day and somehow affect your marriage negatively if they were not worked on now. So God will have to heal your heart. God will have to prepare you. God will have to lead you to maybe mentors. This is where I always tell young Christian singles, when you get to your 25, or even before then, there's an age you get to, and when you begin to have that leading of God wants you to get married in your heart, you should make it a deliberate sense of duty to always listen to godly and biblical teachings from Christian pastors, Christian, like my channel, like people like us who teach on marriage. You should begin to learn on marriage. Many people get married only preparing for the wedding day with no preparation whatsoever for what the main marriage proper is all about. That's why they get into marriage